I'm seeing far too many people confused over whether they're allowed to like Harry Potter and more specifically its author, J.K. Rowling. And that got me wondering, what has J.K. Rowling actually said? And have these people criticizing her actually read the words that she said? I wanted to break down all of her statements so you can have them all in one place and so you can make your own decision. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I've been wanting to do a lot more of these deep dives going down and breaking down big controversies. J.K. Rowling has been facing a lot of them based on the new video game, Hogwarts Legacy. A lot of people refused to even play the game because of her involvement. Now HBO Max, whatever you want to call it, is developing a new Harry Potter show. And every day it seems there's a headline, a podcast, or something where people vilify and criticize J.K. Rowling. And look, I'm not here to give you my opinion this time because I think this whole topic is complicated and I think we need to be having far more conversations civilly to try to find common ground in it. And I wanted to break down the comments specifically. So thanks to Steph, the alternate, for helping us with this slideshow, Claire for her research. Let's get to it. I've also been stalling just because certain words I can't really say over and over because of YouTube for some reason. But let's break it down. I'm going to call it phobic and I'm going to use the word T so you know what I'm talking about. Why can't I just say these words without being limp? I don't know. Ask YouTube, but let's break it down. All right. What has J.K. Rowling said? It all started in March of 2018 when she claims she accidentally liked this tweet by Racy Bearhold. The reason so many people had an issue is because it contained a slur, certain in the T community, referring to them as men in dresses. This is where J.K. Rowling's first accused of being T-phobic. There's the quote you can see yourself from this Rachel person. And this is where it all started because, yes, it looked like J.K. liked it. It then went further. Later in the year, in December 2019, J.K. Rowling under fire. She was under fire again for supporting someone named Maya, saying, "I stand with Maya." And this was the tweet itself. "Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with a consenting adult who will have you, live your best life in peace and security. But force women out of their jobs for stating that X is real? I stand with Maya. This is not a drill." So who was Maya? Well, she lost her job as researcher due to a comment she made about the T community, specifically that she believed it was not possible to change gender, saying, "I don't think people should be compelled to play along with literal delusions like T women are women." Obviously, this person has had a lot of questions, flack, what have you. JK's support of this person took things to the next level. And then things really hit the fan and kicked off the controversy in June of 2020 during the lockdown. J.K. Rowling put this tweet out referencing this article saying, "People who menstruate, I'm sure there used to be a word for these people. Someone help me out. Wombend, wimpund, woomand," clearly referring to women menstruate. And this was a article creating a more equal post-COVID world for people who menstruate instead of saying women or girls. And then this is when it caused a lot more backlash. She did a lot more tweets. Here was a thread further saying such a backlash that she had to then respond further, which only made matters worse for people in this community. If X isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. This is, you can see the tweet in its entirety here. I'm just not wording, but if you guys want to pause, read it, go for and read it. But these were sort of the points. The idea that women like me hate T people because they think X is real and lived consequences is nonsense. My life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so. All this fueled further fire on it. I respect every T person's right to live any way they feel is authentic and comfortable with them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being T. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so. So that's where this all started. She then did more. She left a blog post, and I'll put a link to this blog post so you can have it in its entirety as well. But I've spotlighted some of the more problematic quotes. You can also pause and read these for yourself. But she gave 5 reasons why she decided to speak up. Her first reason was that she had a charity that supported women and children, saying that T activism is having a significant impact on many of the causes I support because it's pushing to erode the legal definition of X and replace it with gender. Rowling's second reason for speaking out, she explains that she has an interest in both education and safeguarding, and she has concerns about the effect that the T rights movement is having on both. Her third reason is that she is a big supporter of freedom of speech. And her fourth personal reason is that she is concerned about the increase in women wanting to transition, and in turn, the increase in those wanting to transition due to regretting their initial decision, detransitioning. Rowling said that some of these decided to transition after realizing they were same-sex attracted, and that transitioning was partly driven by phobias, either in society or in their families. So they thought it'd be easier just to change, and that can obviously have regrets. Finally, JK's fifth reason for speaking out: as a survivor of DA and SA, she has concerns around single-sex spaces. These were a lot of complicated reasons for herself that she had, and she wanted to have these conversations, and this is what deemed her phobic. Now, her own castmates from Harry Potter, these people who she built, came out and made their own comments. So here was Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, making a statement on the Trevor Project website saying, T-gender women are women. Any statement to the contrary erases the identity and dignity of T-gender people and goes against all advice given by professional healthcare associations who have far more expertise in this subject matter than either Joe or I. It's clear that we need to do more to support T-gender and non-binary people, not invalidate their identities, and not cause further harm. Do you feel like JK's words did that, or did JK have her own feelings on identity, gender, etc.? This is where the debate gets complicated. But Daniel wasn't the only one. Emma Watson, who plays Hermione, also spoke out saying that T people are who they say they are, and they deserve to live their lives without being constantly questioned or told that they aren't who they say they are. And I want my T followers to know that they, and so many others around the world, I see you, I respect you, and love you for who you are. And then even Rupert Grint, aka Ron Weasley, also spoke out saying he sees J.K. Rowling as an auntie. I don't always agree with everything my auntie says. Echoing both of his co-star statements, saying T women are women, T men are men. And that was it. She just, look, I have a huge respect for someone and still disagree with them. Little bit more respectful, and but these were all three of her castmates speaking out about her. She did not stop speaking out about this issue. 1 month later, in July 2020, she tweets out that people are being pushed towards hormones and surgery when this may not be their best option or good for them. She likens transitioning to a new kind of conversion therapy, and also repeats her statements that some are transitioning due to phobias, and that whilst transitioning may be an answer for some, for others it's not, and they detransition. And so this is her echoing more of her sort of concerns and worries. Be nicer if we could have conversations with her instead of just labeling her things because she has a different viewpoint. Now, this is information from an organization called Stonewall, who represents and helps people in the LGBTQ plus community. And they state that most people who transition do so without regrets, and that detransitioning is very rare. I also point out that just because people have detransition doesn't make it the experience and existence of T people any less valid or real, and that it does not mean they regret transitioning, but rather they no longer feel that they are T or have changed to a different gender. Now, a couple months later, in September of 2020, J.K. Rowling releases a new novel under her pseudonym Robert Galbraith, where she does other sort of things that aren't seen as Harry Potter J.K. Rowling, and it's called Troubled Blood. The storyline is that a straight man disguises himself as T, cross-dressing to sort of lure people into a false sense of security to end them. It echoes the debate on whether T women and T men should be able to use their preferred gender designation toilets. This is what Stonewall had to say about that. Which public toilets can T people use? T people can and have been using toilets that match their gender for decades without issue. The media-generated debate about public toilets is having a negative effect on the whole community. Anyone whose appearance doesn't fit with stereotypical ideas around what men or women look like are increasingly being challenged simply for using the loo. So here they are saying, yeah, they can be doing this for decades without any issues. And now while all these people were disagreeing, J.K. Rowling had support from late Robbie Coltrane and others, but we focus here on his comment. I don't think what she said was offensive, really. I don't know why, but there's a whole Twitter generation of people who hang around waiting to be offended. They wouldn't have won the war, would they? And so here she did have some support from some, and there's his thoughts. Now, Yeti Izzard, who identifies herself as gender fluid trans woman, prefers now to be called Susie, defended JK as well. Here was the quote speaking. I don't think JK is phobic. I think we need to look at these things she has written about in her blog. Women have been through such hell over the history. T people have been invisible too. I hate the idea that we are fighting between ourselves, but that it's not going to be sorted with the wave of a wand. I don't have all the answers. If people disagree with me, fine. But why are we going through this hell on this? Good for him to attempt to try to let's talk about this. Let's push this and let's see. Maybe there is more to it. And that's, let's go back to that beginning tweet here. The original tweet that kicked all of this about, people who menstruate. I will end you with this. 3 years later, this was released in the Daily Mail. A company is now selling products being accused of erasing girls by referring to them as bodies with female X organs. And instead of saying boys or girls, saying people or person. And so this is now what people are worried about. They are erasing certain terms. Again, look, this is complicated stuff. I honestly can see both sides of this argument. I really can. I want to be empathetic to everybody. But what frustrates me is in everything I'm reading, you could argue ignorance, you could argue things, but I think more than not, it's a difference of opinion. Why can't we have more conversations instead of fighting and trying to label people hateful one words or whatever? And looking at all that, I'm curious, what do you think? And if you disagree and you think JK's words are hurtful, please reach out. I'd love for her to have this conversation. Let's see from another side. Hit me at Andy Signore. But I said I wouldn't give my opinion, but here I am giving a bit of my opinion. I just think we need to have more conversations. I don't see hate in what she said. You may see ignorance. You may see genius. You may see I agree with her wholeheartedly. But obviously there is a war brewing online and social media, a culture war, a gender war. It's happening. How do we get through that? More conversation in my point of view. And I think from everything I've seen with JK, I don't know, guys. What do you think? I want to hear your thoughts. Again, my opinion is not really important. This was a place for you to get all the comments said. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, and smash the like button. Where do you stand on this debate? Let's have some civil conversation down below. I appreciate you guys so much. And do you like these deeper dives where we break it for you? Anything else you want us to do that with? Let's see your thoughts and suggestions in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching all the content here on Popcorn Planet. Appreciate you so much. Stay tuned for more.